Good day. My name is David Wild, and this is the third part of a three-part lecture on Chapter 17 on Control, Performance, and Quality from Connect Master Management 2.0. In the first part of this lecture, we're going to talk about the balanced scorecard. Given the many different ways organizations can measure and monitor their performance, there is value in having performance management systems to ensure that organizational controls are designed and implemented in a systematic and deliberate manner. The need for performance management systems. Performance management systems represent the set of key performance indicators, again, KPIs, that managers use to control the overall performance of an organization. Managers often find that the individual KPIs they use are effective because they are specific, measurable, achievable, and so on. But the collection of KPIs is not as effective as it might be. Generally, there can be three problems with the overall performance management system that companies put in place. First, firms may have too many key performance indicators. The second problem is that the set of key performance indicators used by an organization becomes unbalanced. A third problem related to the first two is that there can be a lack of coherence in the KPIs that the firm uses. So when performance management systems work well, they can help firms with a number of challenges. They can help them to clarify and update strategy, to communicate the details of strategy, to align goals throughout the company, to help identify new strategic initiatives, and finally, they help to conduct periodic performance reviews to help the firm improve its strategy. Next, we'll talk about the components of performance management systems. In order for performance management systems to have the desirable features of focus, balance, and coherence, many companies have turned to a system known as the balanced scorecard. The format of a balanced scorecard is summarized in Figure 2 from your text, which you see on your screen. It captures four distinct areas of organizational performance, and the task of managers is to develop objectives, measures, targets, and initiatives for each of these four areas. First, the customer perspective. Second, the internal business process perspective. Thirdly, the innovation and learning perspective. And finally, fourth, the financial perspective. Now, let's talk a little more in depth about each of these four perspectives. First, the customer perspective. The customer perspective seeks to improve the performance of the organization from the vantage point of its customers. There are a number of objective indicators of performance from the customer perspective, including time, quality, performance and service, and cost. Next, the internal business process perspective. Customer-focused metrics need to be tied to objectives related to the firm's internal operations. These measures are related to the internal processes of the firm, and they also can have an impact on customer satisfaction and other outcomes within other perspectives of the balanced scorecard. Measures from the internal business process perspective include quality levels for manufacturing processes, i.e. waste and defect levels, team and individual productivity, and cost items and efficiency measures. Next, we have the innovation and learning perspective. Of all the perspectives contained in the balanced scorecard, this one is the most forward-looking. The innovation and learning perspective recognizes that employees' capabilities will need to be developing on a continuing basis, and the organization will need to be changing in order to become or to remain competitive in the coming years. Some of the measures used within the innovation and learning perspective include the following. First, inputs to innovation, innovation process metrics, and finally, building or acquiring intangible assets for future growth. Finally, we have the financial perspective. Performance measures and targets are developed for the financial perspective of the balanced scorecard. Attention has already been devoted to the financial controls that organizations use in this lecture and in the book. Managers will want to determine if the firm is profitable, growing, and creating shareholder value. They will also make assessments of the profitability or growth of the business by area, and this might be by division, product line, or even an entire country. So in summary, the balanced scorecard is a popular performance management system that considers the set of key performance indicators, or KPIs, a firm adopts and attempts to ensure focus, balance, and coherence. Often, companies develop too many key performance indicators, and they become unfocused, or the KPIs are geared to short-term results or financial results. When the set of key performance indicators becomes unbalanced in this way, an organization's needs, such as satisfying customers, innovation, and future growth, can be neglected. It is also possible that the set of measures used are incoherent or not consistently linked to a firm's strategy. The balanced scorecard helps managers to develop key performance indicators from 4 perspectives: customers, internal business processes, innovation, and learning, and finally, from the financial perspective. The balanced scorecard can help organizations prioritize initiatives as well as to allocate resources, particularly when targets are not being achieved. Finally, as a result of using the balanced scorecard, the firm might revisit its strategy and whether it makes sense when allocated resources and initiatives aren't translating into expected performance. Finally, let's talk about quality management practices. Total quality management, or TQM, is an effort to continuously improve the quality of all aspects of organizational activities. Continuous improvement, or the Japanese word kaizen, means that employees will make a large number of very small improvements in the areas in which they work. There are several techniques that are used under the umbrella of TQM. To begin with, companies engage in benchmarking to understand what the best companies are doing. This enables a manager to understand what is possible and to use industry leaders to spot areas in which improvements might be made in their own organization. Another way to get data and make continuous improvements is through quality circles. A quality circle is a small group of employees who routinely get together to identify and solve quality problems at the organization. They might share their own experiences, or they might gather additional data or solicit input from others to provide information for these discussions. In the latter part of the 20th century, Six Sigma quality principles and techniques built on earlier practices dating back several decades. Six Sigma is a set of management techniques and statistical methods to improve business processes to reduce errors or product defects. These principles and techniques are organized within a 5-step problem-solving process, summarized by the acronym DMAIC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. In summary on quality management practices, the concept of TQM, total quality management, consists of a set of principles and practices that are based on improving performance by infusing quality throughout an organization's operations. Continuous improvement, benchmarking, quality circles, and Six Sigma all reflect this underlying culture or philosophy geared to enhancing quality, reducing waste, and striving for excellence. The 5-step problem-solving process of define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, the acronym DMAIC, comprises a number of statistical techniques and other principles to help organizations enhance their quality and their efficiencies. So, with that, we will conclude the three-part lecture on Chapter 17 on Control, Performance, and Quality from Connect Master Management 2.0.